It's a brand new month already, and you know what that means. Meet my girls. There's Shannon Chase. She's the sexiest blurred you will ever meet. And then, yep, you guessed it, your girl is back. Terri Motley, millionaire mama in the making. And then there's me, your favorite girl, TNT. Welcome to the Ladies Lounge. If you saw my last video about open relationships, I actually got a lot of feedback, and I really wasn't expecting that, but I got a lot of feedback on Facebook and on YouTube as well, and interestingly enough, from guys. And one of the things that I felt was very, very interesting is that some of them tried to, I guess, call themselves defining my relationship, and they claim that they didn't necessarily consider what I called an open relationship an open relationship. Another person said that they felt like I was just preemptively preparing myself for the inevitable based on the type of person that I was dating. And I'm like, that's not what I said if you watched the video, but okay, you know, you're entitled to your opinion. Right. So I just liked it and kept it moving. Said thank you for watching. Another person, I guess, called themselves classifying open relationships, meaning that you had to be married. And I think that, in my opinion, there's a difference between an open relationship and an open marriage. Mm-hmm. Those are two different things. So, I mean, some of the principles are the same, but, you know, it's a different type of commitment. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that was the reaction to my video, and it sparked a lot of conversation. I even got a video response on Facebook, which was very interesting, and she basically said, you know, thank you for even talking about this because it's considered taboo so much in our community, and a lot of people are afraid to even really talk about their experiences with alternative relationships. And I thought, you know what, I guess because it's not the traditional boyfriend, girlfriend, monogamous, okay, then you get married.
Or just open relationships, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's first start off with, I mean, I think everybody already knows what my opinion is because I did a whole video on it. So what are you guys' like opinions on relationships, on open relationships?
It ain't for everybody, because it's not like everybody's gonna want to or be willing to share the person they're in a relationship with. I mean, how many of us are really gonna be okay with some other woman being with our man? Mm-hmm. Like, we're gonna side-eye her and be ready to fight. The way of how things go. But there's some people that aren't, I wanna say, it's not that they aren't as connected, but they're more into an open love thing where they want multiple people in that circle of that love they want to give kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Or even they might just want to, I want to play with this person tonight, and then, you know, I'll be on date night tomorrow, okay? Like,
I feel you what you just said, but I think that kind of depends on the intensity people bring to the relationship. You know, if a guy decides that he wants to be with a woman, and then she's already on some, I've already dealt with like 4 or 5 people, I don't really want to be with nobody else even right now. And then, true. And then, but the guy's probably not even on that pace. You know, the open relationships to me, because I do agree with you, the open relationships are different than being openly married. Like they was talking about on Insecure. Yeah. You know, but open relationships for me is like realizing how you want to be loved and being open about that to the person that you're, you know, dealing with, and like, okay, you have the ability to say, this ain't for me, you know, you ain't for me, what you come with, and just being open and honest. Yeah, you just have to talk about it from the very beginning, and then be honest. If you're not willing to just be honest with where you are, and you don't mind sharing, giving love, like you just said, mm-hmm. then it's going to come into a problem.
It's like it's not a meeting of the minds.
Yeah.
Before that, whatever relationship you plan on having, how you plan on structuring it, it's going to be issues all the way through it, no matter what. You're going to either end up hating each other, resenting each other, and splitting up, or you're going to stay together and constantly be arguing and fighting about the same things.
Yeah.
Y'all never came to agreement on.
Yeah.
So.
And you got expectations of what you think that they should be doing, right. But you didn't talk about it. You know, same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I did like this little text thing to kind of get the temperature rather of what people thought about open relationships, just in general, like why they thought people got into them. And one person said that they think people that get in open relationships tend to be kind of greedy, and they want, to be able to be with whoever they want to be with. Do you agree?
I wouldn't necessarily say they're greedy. I honestly feel sometimes they don't fully know what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Or they do know what they want, and instead of trying to find it all in one person, they try to find it in multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like they say, you're not going to get everything you want in one person. It's like the 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're going to think about it like, I like this about this person, all this about this person, but this person does X, Y, Z, and it's like you have them all at once and create yourself one human person in multiple.
One superhuman?
Right, like one superhuman, one metahuman, as they say, even that's. But I mean, that could be something that a lot of people, and more power to them, but hey.
Yeah. What about you?
Like presently, I would more so prefer. I can't even say presently.
Lord.
That's too much. That's too much.
You ain't got to spill your tea, girl. You just gotta just say yes or no.
So bad. It's so bad. It's like,
Still trying to be politically correct.
I'm trying.
This is not gonna be on CNN. You good?
Great.
MSNBC.
How about I'm kind of cool with it, to be honest. I'm cool with it. Like, as long as everybody honest about everything from the beginning, that people don't get hurt. That's the main thing I always say. I don't want to hurt nobody, and I can dig it. If you don't want to hurt nobody, just be honest about it. If that's what you want. So I just feel like if that's what y'all both want, then y'all both talk about it. Be honest enough and vulnerable enough with your partner to say, this is what I want, regardless of what they say, whatever the backlash is. And that's how I feel about it. People can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Free will.
And not to split hairs or anything, but real quick, I want to talk about the comment that you just said that a lot of people say they don't want to hurt anybody. You cannot control that.
You're right.
You can't control that.
You're right.
One thing that is guaranteed, you're probably going to hurt somebody. Whether you're faithful, whether you're in a committed relationship, whether you're in an open relationship, there are 1,000,010 ways to hurt somebody. It doesn't have to be that one way.
At one point in time, the relationship is never everything will go perfectly.
Exactly.
If now we live in a perfect world and all humans were perfect, we would have no problems. But that's not reality. Right. Be real with everybody. Like,
and you can't be 100% your best self at all times.
No. You're going to have down there.
I don't even know if there was ever one day when I was 100% my best self. Yeah. So basically, I just don't think that it's something that is really your control.
Exactly. And then it goes into emotional manipulation at that point. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Nothing unhealthy is good for you.
Ever.
Leave anything unhealthy alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it's not for you, let it go. There's nothing wrong with that. I hate people to stay in something that they know they shouldn't be in. It's toxic within that. It's like, you're just allowing this. So why am I even, don't call me for no advice. I can't help you.
Yeah.
Either shut up or get on with your life and do something that's better for you.
And in that same breath, I feel like folks who ask for advice in those particular kind of situations, they really should do what's best in their heart, and they've been told in their heart, they speak to themselves often, they know what they really want. They just want to hear that other perspective about it, but at the end of the day, you want to do what you really want to do anyway, like you take 100% responsibility for your actions. And I know we talked about that, how a lot of people don't
do that.
They don't.
So.
And to me, okay, so I'm glad you said that. In thinking that way, that's honestly partially what got me to that point to decide, hey, I'm going to initiate the open relationship, because in my particular situation, I initiated it. He didn't.
Right.
It wasn't his idea. So, but
I think that he could have possibly thought it was afraid to ask.
No.
Okay.
No.
Some men are selfish.
He would have definitely.
That's the thing. That's something we really can't deal with it. We'll deal with it just so they can keep the woman.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes same with women too. And women will put up something for a man that they know they don't like, but they'll allow just sitting in a relationship with that man. There are men who will put up with it, and then emotionally they will up because they internalize more. How we externalize, we tell what's going on in our mind, we let everybody know, the whole world feels it. But when it comes to a man, he might not feel the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He might just flip out over the slightest thing. You're going out again? What's going on? Why are you going out? Why can't you stay with me?
Now, I can be honest and say that why our relationship worked though was because we were long distance. So there was no clocking what each other was doing anyway.
Well,
there was somebody that commented, and she was telling me about her situation, and I read it, and I didn't want to become one of those commenters that I was just talking about earlier on in this about how they were trying to define my relationship. I didn't want to define her relationship, but do you think when one person says, hey, we're going to be in an open relationship, but that only applies to me, but you can't date anybody else, but I can, do you consider that an open relationship?
No, that's
Wait,
anywhere near.
no.
That's a one-sided.
No, unless he agrees to it. Unless he agrees.
He or she. Initiates the conversation.
Exactly.
Or she and he look.
In this situation, unless he agrees to it, yeah, it's still considered, because she's like, he has the ability to be open, but chooses not to.
Right.
So it's still,
She chose to.
in your mind, it's still considered a relationship?
I mean, there's
I
some
like
people,
that.
there
I
are
like
polyamorous relationships like I've seen like that,
Uh-huh.
where one is like, I'm not really doing anything with anybody, but I don't mind whatever you do. The thing that they understand their need to have like
But
another person.
see, that's a decision. So
That is a decision.
the thing is, when you feel like you're in control of that decision, it's different. But when someone tells you, I'm going to go do this, but you can't do anything, you have to stay faithful.
I'm not one of those people who will actually be okay with that situation. I'm like, you go over there, and I'm not going to be here when you come back.
Okay.
Like, I'll catch you. Deuces.
It's safe to say that you've never done an open relationship.
No, I can't
Knowingly.
do it.
I would say knowingly.
No, yeah, knowingly, no, I couldn't do it.
Okay. Have you been in an open relationship? No. It's not that bad, guys. It really isn't.
I think it probably would be a really good idea for people to
Yeah.
plan their relationships every 6 months to a year. You sit down and talk about certain things. Look, tell her that it's like, girl, that ain't never gonna
People
work.
don't even do their taxes. You think they don't audit their relationship? Come on.
Look at this, they don't even throw out stuff in their closet, so of course not. They
Right.
do that.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
take
happen.
so great. Like shoes that I should have been throwing out.
I think we're going shopping in her closet later. But yeah, I mean, those sound like great ideas, but just realistically, that just doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen.
It just doesn't happen. And people being honest in relationships is something that just doesn't happen.
It's a shame.
I would say that I feel like sometimes my honesty gets to be. I'll say my honesty is the reason why I'm single sometimes. I think so. I do.
I have to agree with you.
Because I
know that.
Because why? Like, why? I don't have to lie.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie either. Like, for what?
Yeah.
Like,
Now,
that doesn't get us anywhere.
it doesn't get us anywhere when I'm married. Like, what is the point of the lie? And on top of that, I hate to say this because my mom's sitting right there, but if you ain't my mama, why I gotta lie for? I'm just saying, some
Yeah.
things you want to keep from your mouth.
Yeah.
But regular people, good.
I don't keep it.
I know you don't. I realize that.
You know, my mama know everything.
I realize that.
My mama know all my friends. My mama know everybody in
She
my
do.
life. She know everybody texting me, calling me, anybody doing business, but she know everything.
Your mama read your text messages too.
Yeah, she be all in my phone.
But that's a great relationship though. I think so. That's a great.
No, from the relationship that I have with my mom and the conversations that I have with my mom all the time, it's always about free will when it comes to the relationship. And it's like if somebody chooses to do X, Y, Z, you don't have to be mad at them. You don't have to want to yell, cuss, scream. I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got time. Plus, I don't need the stress level. I like that still right young at my age. So I'm just like, you know, if I'm not with it, go do you. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
I can't be mad at you. I'm gonna let you go ahead and do what you want to do and live your life. I'm gonna live my life. Don't be mad.
And
I'm
that's
living a little bit better than you.
The problem too, we live like that, and I feel like what I've experienced when behaving that way with people, especially in the dating aspect, is the kickback, because they expect you to react the way they're used to people reacting, and because you're like, no, you free. I ain't trying to keep nobody here that doesn't want to be here, and I say, you know, do your thing. Then they're like, oh, so that's how you're gonna. What's am I supposed to be? Like, you want me to? Are we supposed to argue right now? Because I just don't feel like it.
That's really how I feel.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd rather
you
go
get
watch
mad,
Netflix and get my bottle.
Right. Like I'm gonna get mad at you for
So why not think open relationships is considered taboo or alternative relationship.
Folks ain't honest about what they really want. They go by the status quo, what they know, what they've seen, and ain't nobody showing them that. No one's being honest about that. And if they are being honest, it's like super rare. I really do. I really feel like this is just an honesty thing. We see one thing. We don't see examples of open marriages and open relationships and have them being successful and happy. And we go towards the happy of what we know.
I mean, I come from two parents who shared everything. They were open and honest about everything. They had this connection with each other that is like, you could tell was built on trust, friendship, and just honesty with one another.
See, I haven't seen many examples of that. I come from a place of a broken home. So I haven't seen that. Like, I had to see that in other families. So like, I feel you on that, but I feel like that might be the reason, the majority don't see that.
Yeah.
So you're kind of rare.
What do you guys think is the difference between an open relationship and cheating?
Partner, I know.
Ta-da! Okay, so for me, that was the whole thing. Like, because if you think about that idea of cheating, every time somebody talks about that, the thing that they hate the most about it is the lying and the sneakiness, right? That's the part that irks people. It's like, okay, sex happens. I kind of get that. I'm not with it. But at the same time, I understand that. But the lying and that's the part to them that they define as the cheating, right? So my thought process behind when I did what I did was, let's take the pressure off the cheating and make it, take the hat off of it. Make it not a mystery anymore. It's not cheating now. Now, do you still want to do it? You know what I mean? Like, that kind of was the tactic in some degree. But again, like I said in my previous video, he was in the NFL, so
yeah.
I had to kind of already deal with the fact that we're young people, we're in our 20s. He's experiencing things that he's never going to get a chance to experience, that other guys never get a chance to experience. And I kind of really don't want to stifle that, because what if I do decide I want to marry this guy? I don't want to stifle that, and then he marries me and feel like I've been sticking to you this long, and I never got a chance to experience those things when I was young, when it made sense to do it.
Yeah.
So that, a lot of those thoughts is why I came to what I, came to my conclusion that I came to. And it did have a lot to do with the conversations that I had with my mom. But it never was something that I saw my parents do or something, I didn't necessarily see an example of a successful open relationship, but just based on just conversations with mom and the things that she thought, they made sense to me. Especially when it comes to young athletes that kind of commit too soon, and then they end up going out there and doing the most and making a fool out of their wife, and then the wife is feeling some type of way, then they get divorced. Like, I didn't want to be that lady.
I was thinking about, because I dated an athlete as well. But when it comes to those guys, even my first fiance said it himself, it's like we're big kids with money.
Exactly.
And it's like, this is like, for a lot of us, it's the first time we're seeing this kind of money ever in our lifetime.
Yep.
So for me, I feel it's better that you let them guys live for a minute. Understand the money that they have in front of them. Understand the job in which they've taken on, because it comes with a lot of things to it. Like, a lot that they have to compute at a young age. We're talking about 22, 23 years old. So for me, I feel like no woman should try to push them into a serious relationship. Let them, right now, let them marinate on life right now and enjoy the money that they got for the first time and get used to it.
Yeah.
That way they can understand more of what they want, what they need in their life, instead of pushing them into a situation that they're not going to be happy in the first place. That's why I see a lot of them cheat anyway. Because they feel like they've been pushed into a relationship that they don't really want to be in. And they're just doing it.
And sometimes it's not that they don't want to be in it.
It might not be that they
It's
don't.
sometimes it's because I'm going to marry you right now so you don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Because once I'm done doing all this dumb stuff, I'm coming back to you.
And a lot of times you end up divorced and he ends up married off to some other woman.
In my opinion, it's open relationship is not what everybody think it is. It's not. Half the time, because people have the freedom or feel like they have the freedom to do what they want to do, or they're able to deal with someone else on a certain level, half the time they don't even exercise that right. once they realize that they have the freedom, it's like, oh, I could do it, but I don't want to.
They really don't want to because they like uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like, 'cause it's something about taking the pressure off of the idea that, oh my God, you have to be faithful to me. Because honestly, what I had to do, I had to be honest with myself in my particular relationship. And I was like, you know, if this man cheats on me, am I going to get back with him? Like, or am I going to break up with him? Like, what am I going to do if he cheats on me? Because ain't 9 times out of 10 he's going to cheat on me, okay? He's in a different state. I'm in this state. He travels. He's a millionaire. He's a young black man. That's not normal. Any woman to me in her right mind, or thinking she's in her right mind, would want to date that guy. He's somebody, like, if you had the opportunity to meet this person, he seemed like he was into you. Are you not gonna shoot your shot or no, sis?
I mean,
you got a girlfriend, like, who cares? You not married? What? You said you're not married. She ain't your fiance? Oh, I'm shooting my shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a rule of mine. As long as you're not married, I don't care.
Right. So, and one, I couldn't fault that woman.
Nope.
2, I felt like I couldn't fault him for even possibly thinking, all right, no, I don't necessarily want to think about him being with anybody else. I don't need to see it. But at the same time, for me, I knew I wasn't going to leave him for doing it. So if I'm not going to leave you if you did the cheating part where it was like actually terrible, where you're doing the sneaking and the lying and all that, if I'm not going to leave you for that, let me take the pressure off of it. Let me not make it a thing.
See, that's very mature. That's very mature.
What's your... Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
You see my face,
What do you-
right? You see my face, right? Because I'm trying to, okay, I dated a guy. He was, told I dated a couple.
Yes.
Yeah, he was athlete. Me and him, it was cool. He was talking about, I'm tired of always running around, blah, 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 he wanted a relationship. Okay. Fast forward.
They all say that.
We're on Xbox Live together. I didn't know we were in a relationship. He's sleeping with another woman on game. I heard it all. And then he wants to come visit.
See, but that's different. You didn't know.
I didn't know about the heifer. And I'm more mad at him. Screw her. So it's kind of like, for me, if you're going to see other people while you're claiming to be in a relationship with this person over here, be freaking honest. I can't stand it. Just honest. I just like, if you're really going to be in a relationship with somebody, you should be clear about what your expectations of what you're going to be doing. Let them know up front. That way they can make a decision on whether or not they want to deal with it or someone who will.
Right. But, and that's, I think that's the biggest problem, is that they don't want to run the risk that you aren't one of them because they want you.
Yeah.
And that's selfish.
Yeah, that's super selfish. I want the guy really bad.
Yeah.
But I can't make him be what I want him to be to
Hello.
me. I let him
Hello.
go do you. Look at this. You want to come back here? Look at this. That means it was more real than I thought it was. I'd rather love you and let you go and see if you come back.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. For real, at the end of the day, to me,
It's about
open relationships aren't like as taboo or as terrible as everybody thinks they are.
People are having them all the time.
If all is really truly fair in love and war, then why are we sitting up here trying to judge people? They do.
That's true when it comes to relationships. That we have no business judging each other. We've made everything a social construct in society, and it's terrible. Like, in a way, I kind of want to go, I wouldn't mind going back to like how socially we were back in like, say, the 60s, 70s, 1800s, socially. You know what I'm saying? Where money was a certain, put you in a certain status, put you in a certain.
So you're more so like the caste, like kind of
like the
structure.
Yeah. Or even I would even say like the way Princess or how they handle things. Like you haven't seen Outlander?
No, I have not.
Oh my God.
Is it good?
Yes,
Okay.
it's freaking great. It's like, I love TV. I love period pieces.
Okay.
Like I love period pieces because it shows a lot about how our society as people we have grown.
Yeah, it does.
And like certain things you come that's been like some super social thing then, but it still lingers today. You know what I'm saying? I love it.
It definitely does.
It does teach you a lot about how you should act and how you should carry yourself, the conversation which you should have. Sex is not an unknown, unknown variable in those circles. It's kind of like once a woman starts having a period, like we know eventually you're going to start having sex. You know, a guy, of course, the minute he gets his first morning wood, he's going to want to have sex. So
So it's kind of like, it's not something that's not talked about.
You like Game of Thrones, don't you?
I do.
I love it too.
I'm going through a Game of Thrones viewing party tomorrow, so yeah, I love Game of Thrones. But like, I like those periods. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the socialization of people, you know, relationships weren't taboo. If anything, girls and guys both talk about sex at a young age. Like, you need to know what to do because eventually you're gonna get there.
Well, yeah, and a lot of them are married off very young, so they had
Well,
to.
yeah, but I mean, it goes back to what the law of in our country now of, you know, the right to consent. It was around that same age in which kids were being married off 16, 17 years old, then the state in which you lived in. Sometimes it was depending on the country. Same thing. I mean, so it's kind of like we can't say too much about it because it's like think where we come from, society, socially, as humans. It's like you probably was trying to marry your daughter off at 16. Oh, she's gonna date Billy Joe, who's down the street, and our families know
They've known each other since they were kids. They used to take baths together.
Right. It's like those stories don't, you know, exist for nothing. You know what I'm saying? It comes from a play. So
Yeah, it is history with it.
right. That's why I love period pieces. Outlander does exemplify a lot of that, and it goes from coming into the time in which we live in now, because she was like the 1940s. She was a nurse. She was like in our age group. And she goes back into 1745 and she marries a 21-year-old virgin. And he fine too. Look, talk about open relationship. Because the husband, when she went back, had to accept the fact that she was with another man and came back. There's some other things she came back with, but she brought back a present.
Oh, Lord. See, that was the thing. He couldn't bring me no presents. I was not with that. I was like, listen.
Well, the present was a baby, but still, it was a cute little girl.
Yeah, so that was one of the presents he couldn't bring back.
No,
I was like, listen, I ain't about to raise no other chick baby, so
yeah.
don't bring no kids.
Right, that happened with.
So there needs to be a conversation in the beginning.
Right.
You find out what your deal breakers are, like
Right.
Yes!
or
Right.
STDs.
Those are right too.
Yeah. Keep it 100. Keep it honest. Keep it open.
Right.
You can choose to have sex. You cannot choose to have sex. You can just choose to be honest. You know.
And my other thing, and it says this in the video, if I don't ask you, don't volunteer that shit. I don't want to know. Okay, please just don't tell me.
Yeah.
Don't
If
play
I'm
by
not
play it.
if I'm not asking or if I'm not curious about something, that means you're doing a good job and keeping the distance with all of it. And I think he did a great job at that. He I don't even watch that show. I don't even know what happened. That's right. I don't watch it. But even when it came to one of the questions that I did get was I open about the fact that I was in a relationship to my girlfriends? Like, did I tell them? And I guess that was a great question just because, again, we know that this is considered taboo or whatever, right? And it was. Like, it was just, if he knows that we're in an open relationship, why am I hiding from him? Like, you know, not everybody
But
agrees
it's
with
the shame on
it.
it. Like you feel like somebody else gonna judge you, and you know, keep it to yourself. Like, yeah, you're right. If you doing it, like you already owned up to the person who's actually in it. Why lie about it? Why you don't have to fake anything?
Yeah.
You know, that's
My thing is like, as your friend, I don't care as long as you're happy. That's what
As
I
long-
care
I'm
about.
so- I'm not
If
exactly
you're
right.
happy, I'm going to have to go ahead and choke somebody.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Don't make me have to pull out my blade. I'm
Right.
Team Tyler all the way.
We make so many things that's normal and natural taboo,
Yeah.
and that's what causes, you know, the what's the word? Oh, roadblocks, I guess, to having these conversations that could actually make a difference in our lives.
Yeah.